thing that you've learned from him, whether it's kind of in the coaching mind of his or as a dad, that's helped you as a player?
I think it's definitely like his unconventional approach. He'll look at a problem from many different ways and like find a solution that maybe isn't the most obvious one. So I've always thought, especially in basketball, sometimes the best solution isn't always the one that people conventionally take. It's usually like taking another route. And I think he's done a great job of that in his time coaching. And that's just what I try to take with me as a player.
What's the biggest thing you've been working on this offseason that we're going to see from you on the floor this year?
I think just my leadership and playing like both sides really well. Last season, I wasn't able to really give the defensive effort I know that I can my freshman year. So this year, I'm really excited to bring back that side of me, as well as, expanding my offensive game.
Ryan, what are your goals for this year and your expectations for this group that you've put together?
Just continuous improvement over the course of the year. I think, when things got really tough for us by way of injury in conference last year after starting 3-1 in the league, we adapted to a style that allowed us to be more versatile and to play people at different positions. And, I think everyone's accepted that as the best way for us to play and compete and win. And that's something that we got better at as the season went along, and something that we've kept with us since June and into the fall. So just continuous improvement over the course of this non-conference and then into the season, and to be able to play off of one another and create for one another, to really build those strong bonds that they have made in the offseason, to let that show on the court. And that's, my job as a head coach every day is to make sure that they're connected and to make sure that they allow themselves to reach their full potential.
I did maybe make a phone call about you, and you didn't pick up, but he sent me a text and he told me something I have to ask you about. So I need to ask you about your last dunk contest ever. Tell me about it. What do I need to know?
Might be my last and only dunk contest. Yeah, your dear friend, Coach Paulus, the head men's basketball coach at Niagara, and I go way back to high school days, and he played point guard at Duke from 2005 to 2009. And for his senior year, they were playing North Carolina. I'd never been able to go to a game, and he had a ticket for me. Night before the game, he calls and says he has a ticket. I leave immediately to go to watch the Duke North Carolina home game. And that night, they had a tailgate with the students, and they had a dunk contest. And okay. I entered the dunk contest and, made GP proud. And, it'll be something that we'll tell our kids and grandkids someday of, Coach G's 360 dunk in the parking lot of Cameron Indoor. So we'll leave it at that. We'll see. If we have good cause for and purpose, to really get on up there, we will. So, these players give me good energy every day. So we'll see what's in store.
One more thing I need to hit you on before we go, because I think everyone deserves to know this, because I know this. And I think, Kieran, maybe you don't know yet because you're new. Maybe you do. Maybe he talks about it all the time. But I don't think I've met a bigger reality TV fan than myself until you. You and your obsession, the Southern charm. I heard Vanderpump Rules is in the mix too. You love it. I don't think I've met someone who loves reality TV more than me until you.
Well, I think I love my wife most importantly. And in order to maintain that level of love, it's to watch those shows. I can't get into the Real Housewives stuff. Don't know any of those characters. But, when your dad moved to Charleston, you and I hit it off of all the Charleston favorites and restaurants and, characters in those shows. So, yes,
well,
I love watching.
I met one of them, right? I was sitting next to someone that you knew who it was.
Craig. Yeah, absolutely. Craig and Chef. Yeah. Chef, those are like staples down there.
Yes, well, we'll get you up to Charleston. You'll meet him yourself some point soon, and maybe you'll have a little fan moment. But excited to see what you guys do on the court. It was great talking to both of you, and hopefully I'll get up there at some point this year.
We'd love to have you back. Thanks so much, Tal.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Good talking with you. Next up, we're going to talk to Ohio head coach Bob Bolden and Ellie Garnett. They're going to come in and join us in a little bit here. Bob has been at Ohio since 2013, and they return a lot this year as well. And, we talk about the portal all the time. This is another team that brings in 9 players. We'll have them come in and join us right now. Hey, how are you guys doing? You able to hear me? Uh-oh, more audio problems. Okay, they're going to go solve that audio problem. But if you are just joining us, this is MAC Women's Basketball Media Day. We've already talked to a few head coaches here, a few players who are going to make real impacts on their team. And we've gone through this preseason poll and the preseason All-MAC first and second team. We've gotten a lot done in this first hour that we've started here. So first off, we talked to Ball State head coach Brady Sally, and we talked to Grace Kingery. They won the league last year, made a trip to the NCAA tournament, and obviously they're trying to do it again this year with a brand new roster. They got a lot of freshmen coming in, so we talked about their impact, what they're going to have to do to retain the level of success that they've been able to have. Then we talked to Bowling Green. They were another team, maybe some audio issues there, so we're seeing a trend. But I think we're going to have them back in now, so let's see if we can get Bob Bolden. Have we got you now? Can I hear you?
Yes.
Oh, amazing. I can hear you. I'm very happy to report that I can hear you. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Very excited to talk to you guys today. Obviously, I was just saying, you're one of the teams that returns a lot, not just in this league, but kind of when we look at the national picture, there's not a lot of that right now. And you guys do. You bring back a lot. How important was that for you, Bob, when building this roster this season?
I think it's always important to have returning players. I think it helps build upon what you've done in the previous years, and I think it's a testament to the quality of school that we have, the number of kids that want to come back and play here every year.
Absolutely. Ellie, you were one who joined this program, and you're going to make an impact right away. What was it about Ohio that made you want to come here?
The culture is really good here. I took a visit late, and I just love the girls. Like, the returners have always been super welcoming, and I guess a plus is my sister is on the staff and it's my last year. So it was kind of like one of those things. I want to come in and help us win some games and kind of be close to home in a sense. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm excited to see what you can do. What have you been working on for people who maybe haven't been able to watch you, for Ohio fans? What can they expect from you and the way you play?
I think I'm always going to bring my hardest effort. I'm just going to play hard regardless of if shots are falling. Working on being a leader, because I don't give myself enough grace. So just having other people help me with that and making sure we're all on the same page and have the same goal this year.
Absolutely. Bob, like I said, you bring back a lot this year. You bring back, Monica, Bailey, Leah. What's impressed you about the way that they've all improved this offseason?
I think just they've collectively taken a step forward. And you don't always get that. Sometimes you get summers where one kid does a little bit better than the next. But I thought the returners in particular have done a nice job of collectively making their games better. They've made strides. They're certainly shooting the ball better. I think there's more interest on our defensive philosophy and intent to guard. But I think that, they had a wonderful summer. I was really happy with the summer workouts, and that's kind of spilled over into the early fall, and excited to see where we'll go from here.
Who's someone that I'm maybe not paying enough attention to right now that I should be? Who's someone who really, took steps forward this summer?
I think it's really been a collective effort. I don't know that, each journey's been a little bit different. Ellie's been with us all summer. Nisi missed out on part of the summer, but, she was able to kind of hit the ground running in the fall. I just think I'm just really proud of the group effort and what everybody has done and the position they put themselves into play this fall.
Ellie, I think if I'm not mistaken, this is your last season in college, correct? I was looking through and making sure. I think this is your last one.
It is. I think so too. I think it is too.
Yes. I don't know
Yes.
with all the rules where we're headed, but I was like, I think this is it. What do you hope to accomplish in your last year of college basketball?
I mean, of course we want to win games. I think that's the most importance for us right now is winning games, but just building those relationships and being a part of a team that likes each other on and off the court. I think we've done a really good job this summer, and just as far as now, we've all played together and we're all in, as I would say. I think we're all on the right page. So I think just winning games is our priority.
Yeah, what's been the most fun part about joining this team? What's the chemistry like with this group? What have you enjoyed the most about it?
Um, I don't know. I think I get along with everyone pretty well. I think being able to be hard on each other on the court and off the court, being, friends. That's one thing I've always loved to be able to do because I'm a competitor. So us competing every day and then going and getting coffee after, that's what I love about our team. So
Yeah, Bob, you've obviously been here for a while. You've been in this league for a while. What do you love so much about the MAC? It's obviously such a great, coaches league. Great players come out of here. Great coaches stay here. Obviously, what do you love so much about it?
The similarities and the competitiveness of each school. All of our schools are generally the same. Enrollment's about the same, endowment's about the same. Some people have there's some, obviously there's differences from school to school, but they're pretty minuscule. I think by and large, we're the same. And it provides for competitive basketball night in, night out. There's very, very rarely do you play a game that you can't win, or very rarely do you play a game that you're insured to win. You have to compete night in, night out in this league. And I've always respected that. And I've respected the amount of coaches that have come through here and the resources that have been put into women's basketball. It's a league that cares a lot about women's basketball. It cares a lot about their athletes, and it's a league that I'm proud to be a part of.
Bob, I don't know if you saw. So my dad was hosting the men's version of this morning, and he stole my idea. He was, this is where this comes in with you. He was showing pictures of a bunch of different head coaches in their Halloween costumes from over the years. And he got that idea from me because I got a great picture of you in a Halloween costume from a few years ago. I didn't prepare it with our producer here, but I don't know if you can see. You were the Joker in this picture here. And
I was. I was the Joker.
I saw that and I was like, oh, I need to show this. Ellie, what does he need to be for Halloween this year?
Oh gosh.
How do you
weren't here then. I accidentally showed up. I didn't get all the green out of my hair before practice the next day. And I don't know how much you know about the Halloween block party at Ohio, but it's pretty awesome.
Really?
Arguably the best Halloween party in the country. Yeah.
Wow.
And so, we partake. We've been here for it. Sometimes we've been out of town for it. This year we'll be in town for it. So I expect it'll be a good time. I will openly admit practice the next day is sometimes difficult, especially when your head coach shows up with green remnants of my hair that I didn't realize until practice. Yeah, you lose a little bit of your validity at that point, but it is quite the party, and something that most people in Ohio have taken part in at some point of their lives.
Can we spoil what you're going to be this year? Since you said you're going to be in town, I need to know.
Yeah, I have a couple choices. I'm not sure. I was leaning towards a pirate.
Okay.
But I don't know. My wife just ordered another costume for me that'll be in next week, so that may change it. We'll see.
Well, if you need some help, choosing, you let me know. I'll look at the pictures. I'll help you figure out, what you should be for Halloween this year. But I don't know if you can top the Joker. I saw that and I said, I don't think I've ever had a costume better than that, ever.
Yep. That was my best. Yeah, thank you for showing that one. That one was my best one. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I wanted everyone to be impressed with you because, my Halloween costume this year is not going to be that impressive. So I think I might have to come down to the Ohio block party, though, now that I know that it's the greatest one in the country. Ellie, are you excited to experience that for the first time?
Yes, a lot of people have told me it's a fun time. So I'm excited to experience it with my teammates.
I love it. Well, Bob, before I let you go, walk me through, what this group needs to do in order to win the MAC championship this year, in order to reach their ceiling. What has to happen with this group?
They're going to have to play together, and they're going to have to continue to play hard. I think they've done that to date. This is the very, very beginning of this. We're going to have to show some improvement across the board. But I like, as Ellie mentioned earlier, I like their camaraderie. I like the way that they communicate with each other on the court and off the court. And I'm optimistic that we'll get there, and I'm actually excited that we'll get there.
Well, I'm excited to see it, but I might be just as excited to see your Halloween costume. So I need this on social media, or I need someone to send me over the pirate or whatever it might be picture. But equally excited to see that as I am to watch you guys on the court this year. So hopefully I can make it down for a game, and I appreciate you guys coming on to talk.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
I love that. You guys are so in sync. I love it. Great talking to you.
Thank you very much.
Next up, we're going to bring in Western Michigan head coach Kate Octor and Allie Carlson. They're going to join us. It's Kate's first season at the helm of Western Michigan, so excited to hear about what led her here and what she expects from this group this year. And here they are. We're bringing in Kate Octor and Allie Carlson. How are you guys doing today?
We're great. Good.
Good. Excited to get talking with you. You're my first year head coach that I'm talking to of the day. So I'm very excited to hear what led you to Western Michigan. What was it about Western Michigan that made this, the right move for you at the right time?
Well, I've been familiar with the MAC for a long time. Having played here, let me rephrase that, having played in this arena previously, and then just in the league. As a student athlete, I've always had a lot of respect for what Kalamazoo was and, the competitive teams that they were able to put together before my tenure here. And, as a young professional, I've always just thought this area was just kind of like a hidden gem and so a sleeping giant, so to speak. And so when you take that with the amount of resources that they're pouring into not only athletics, but women's basketball specifically, we've got, a $550 million new arena coming in the next 2 seasons here. It's a great time to be a Bronco, and I was just lucky enough that they said yes to me. So lots of really great things happening here.
And you bring back actually 6 returners from the previous season, which is kind of rare, right? When there's a new coach that comes in, typically more players will enter the transfer portal. Allie, you're one of the players who opted to come back for your senior season. What made you come back to Western Michigan?
Yeah, I really liked my teammates. A lot of them were staying, and then from the very first Zoom call with Coach Kate, I knew I wanted to stay, and I just completely agreed with everything that she had said, her vision for our team. So I knew I wanted to be back and play for her for my last year.
Everything?
Everything.
Kate, what's the culture that you're hoping to bring here and instill in this group this year?
Well, I feel a little bit lucky that Shane did such a really great job of assembling fantastic humans here in our program, and so I'm walking into a really great situation in terms of the caliber of character with our players, and when you mesh that, or when you don't have to spoon feed that to your players, and you just have to talk about the grittiness, and then what really is going to be our team identity this season. And we talk about this a lot, that I would love our program to be a miniature version of Coach Kate, right? It should take the personality of your head coach, and I have a really quiet, maybe not quiet all the time, but I have a really confident intensity to me, and I want to win basketball games, and that's something I hope bleeds through to all of our athletes. But I think it's my job to empower young women to be strong women. So basketball aside, that's what we're going to be here as a culture, and we hope to win a lot of games in the process. And I think we're going to. I've got a really strong group, not only character-wise, but they're good basketball players. They're good basketball players too. So it's been a lot of fun so far.
Awesome. And Allie, she said she wants this team to be kind of a miniature version of her, and that they should be, right? What is she like? What's the personality that she's, bringing to the table for you guys right now that you're going to be mini hers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very intense, very competitive, but also she's just a great person, great coach, and she's such a great leader. And I think that if we are all like Kate, we're going to be successful because that's just who she is. But yeah, super competitive and likes to win.
That's a great answer. I really liked that. If we're going to be like you, we're going to be successful. I love that. And along with the returners that you bring back, you also had a really fun transfer class that I'm excited about. And in particular, you bring over a player from where you were previously that I'm really excited about because, one of my favorite things is the freshman to sophomore jump. I say this on everyone I talk to. It's one of my favorite things. Yeah, exactly. And you bring over Kylie Starks, and she's someone who had a really good freshman campaign with you last year. What can we expect from her this season?
She's already taken quite the leap for us. She showed up to campus in the summer having lost about 15 pounds. And it was a great job by her. And then she just locked into our conditioning and our weightlifting with our strength coach this summer. And I think has been so far a really excellent leader by example. And so she would tell you this herself, but I think she's in the best shape of her young career. And, the best thing for Kylie and about Kylie is she knows what's going on more than anyone else on the floor right now. And she finds confidence in that. And certainly I think her teammates do as well. And, when she plays that hard right alongside Carlson here, our backcourt is just ferocious. There's a lot of intensity there. We've got our 5.5 minute miler over here that seems like she can run for days. So, between the two of them, it's pretty explosive and it's a lot of fun to watch every day.
Allie, you might know these returners even better than your coach do, right? Because you've been with them. Who's someone that maybe I'm not looking at enough yet that's really impressed you maybe over the years or specifically this offseason that I need to be getting my eye on right now?
That's hard because I feel like I could honestly say anyone on the team. But specifically for returners, I would say, Nile, she was injured last year. She's coming back from that, and I'm just really impressed by how she's coming back and getting into her role. She plays it really well. And then, honestly, any of the other returners, I could say something good about everybody, but she's one.
How about you, Kate? What's impressed you? Because obviously, these are players that you almost inherited in a way. You chose to keep them, but you inherited them in a way. What's impressed you kind of getting to know them over the past few months?
Their personalities have been awesome, and that's been a really fun thing for me. But we competed against Western Michigan last season when I was at Detroit Mercy, and so I felt like I knew a little bit about each returner's game, and then getting to spend time with them now, really from the summer until this point. They've just been full of surprises, and they might not pass the quote unquote eye test, or based on what they did last season. We're trying not to make judgments of their game based on what we had previously seen. So we're putting them in a lot of scenarios where their game just gets to shine, and then it's our job to put them in the right spots. And so I agree with Allie. Nile has been a big bright spot because we didn't even know if she'd be healthy. But, I think you're going to see great things from Allie Harness. I think you're going to see great things from Demijah Bolds. And, Deanna Richardson has had a really good preseason for us too. And so, just empowering those players to be at their best in the spots where they're at their best. So that's what it's been about in the preseason. And it's been a lot of fun for me as a head coach taking over a program like this.
Well, this is a team that can shoot the three. This is a team that has some grit to them, right? What do you see as the biggest strength of this group?
Their offensive ability. They move the ball tremendously well, probably better than any team that I've ever coached. They're unselfish. They push the pace really well. And again, they don't pass the eye test. So when you think you're taking away one thing, the ball just moves so fast that they're finding something else. And, that's a credit a lot to Allie and how she plays. And sometimes it's a little bit erratic. We talk about it in practice in the best ways. But what we've done this preseason is we're really learning how to move off each other well. And, I think that's what is going to allow us to find a lot of success on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah. What are your goals for year one? And then Allie, for your senior year, what do you hope to accomplish?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I will. Obviously, just winning with my team is great. We have a lot of goals for that. And then right now, just getting to know how we play together and continuing to build that relationship on and off the court. We've really grown in that a lot already, but just continuing that is my main goal right now.
Yeah, and on the basketball side for us, obviously we want to win basketball games, but we want to lay the foundation for what Western Michigan women's basketball looks like forever, right? We want to be tough. We want to recruit the right types of players. We want to play fast. All those things are really important, but for us, it's setting the standard for excellence. And that started for us in the summer. We were lucky enough to be surrounded by champions. Our hockey team won a national championship. Right. You got women's soccer, men's soccer, volleyball. We got to train with champions. And I really pushed our players to see what that looked like every day. And, that's a standard that we want to set here. And that's what we're marching towards.
Absolutely. Allie, I heard a little story about you, and I wish I had the video of it, but I heard a little bit about your work ethic because I heard there was a small group workout, and I heard there is video evidence. I need to see it at some point where you played. There was like a demo going on, and you played as all three players, and you passed the ball to yourself. And then I don't even know, but I heard a little bit about how strong of a work ethic you have and how funny that moment was for everyone around you too.
Yeah, that was great. I think I did a great job showing that. It was an offensive motion that we run, and I did a great job. Yeah.
I wasn't I wasn't at the small group that day, and so when I got to watch it back on film, I was amazed at how quickly she played 4 spots.
That's funny. Hopefully, I don't know if we'll see that in game, but it's good to know you can do it, right?
We will not see that in games.
It was surprising people, right? You have her passing the ball to herself. I love it. And then
it's one heck of an offensive strategy.
Exactly. That would surprise some people. And I also heard something about you, Kate, that I didn't know, that I was like, oh my goodness, like you could be a pro golfer, like you were recruited to golf. And then I heard that you were golfing with your staff and you absolutely dominated competition and they could not keep up with you at all. Is that true?
They told you that because they want to keep their jobs, right?
I don't know.
No, I love golf.
Yeah,
no,
and I heard
maybe
track and field too. Like, what was it? So basketball was one of 3, right, that you were recruited to play when you were going through your process. Obviously, we're all glad you ended up in basketball, but you could surprise some people with those other skills you have, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't move very athletically anymore, which I think is why I'm pretty good at golf because it's muscle movement and muscle memory. But yeah, I was a multi-sport athlete out of high school, and I was recruited by almost every MAC school to go there to play golf and basketball. And then I had quite a few Power 4 schools that recruited me for track and field. And truthfully, I picked basketball because I love the team aspect of it. But, I come from a really blue collar family and basketball scholarships were full rides. And so, I knew my parents couldn't afford to put all of us through college. And I was just lucky enough to get a scholarship. And, that's the beauty of now being in the MAC is like, that's what brought me to the MAC to begin with. We found a lot of success in college. And, the hope is that we continue that on the coaching side now, like I did it as an athlete, but it's time to take the leap and no better place to do it than at Western Michigan.
Yeah. How cool is it for you to be back in this league? What do you love so much about it from all of your many experiences with the MAC, and how excited are you to get started here?
Can you say that one more time? We froze.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, absolutely. How excited are you and how cool is it to be back in the MAC after kind of talking about all of your experiences that you've had either in or with the MAC? How cool is it to be here and how excited are you to get started, playing real games in the MAC?
Yeah, it feels a little bit nostalgic, if I'm being honest with you. As a professional, this has been a league I've wanted to get to. I don't want to say it was the end game. I just thought that, one day it would be really awesome to be back competing against a lot of institutions I had familiarity with. And, I know that the MAC is changing. I know that we're adding, we've added UMass this year, so the landscape changes a little bit. But, the rivalries don't change. And, the feeling you get when you step into, Savage Hall or the Stroh Center at Bowling Green, or, when you get to walk into Reed Fieldhouse for one of the last few times, that's what MAC basketball is. And that's what's made it so special for such a long time. And that's why great players pick our league because they want to be a part of that. And it's just really special. And, I'm going to love going back to Bowling Green and looking at all those banners that we got to raise. And again, the hope is that we do that here.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited to see what you do in year 1. And Allie, I'm very excited to watch your senior campaign. Loved watching you last year. Great defensively. You shot the ball a lot more last season too, which was fun to watch. So excited to see what happens in year 1 with you, Kate. And I appreciate you coming on to talk with us today.
Thanks, Talia. Thanks for all you do for women's basketball.
Thank you. Next up, we are going to have, I believe it's Miami, Ohio head coach Glenn Box is going to join us with Amber Treader. They're going to come on in just a minute here, and we'll get to talking with him. It's his 3rd season in the league, and he was actually here at Indiana with me for my freshman year. So I'm excited to reconnect and talk to him now that he's at Miami of Ohio. I saw him play at Akron a couple of years ago, his team. So And they've improved immensely since then. And Amber Treader is still there, and she has been a really, really big part of that. So excited to talk to her and talk about her growth with the team, and Miami, Ohio adding a pretty big portal class this year with some really exciting players coming to join the mix. And so excited to see what they do. And they're going to join us now. All right, we're joined now by Miami of Ohio head coach Glenn Box and Amber Treader. How are you guys doing today?
Good. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you. I was saying as we were bringing you in, I caught you at the tail end of your time at Indiana, and I'm at the tail end of my time here at Indiana now. So very cool to see where you are now, and obviously great to catch a game of yours a couple years ago. And Amber, you were on that team when I saw you play, so cool to see you a couple years later now.
It's good to see you. Glad things are working out for you too.
Yes, no, it's very exciting. And the best part is that I get to talk to you, right? I get to do things like this and talk to you before the season gets started. And you're heading into your third season here, and you've seen a lot of improvement as you've gone. With this roster you have here this year, it's so exciting. I love the transfers you brought in. Obviously, you return a lot as well. What impresses you the most about the group you were able to put together?
The experience factor. We have kids that have done it. We have a lot of kids who have logged a lot of starts. Not only in this league, but at this level, even higher levels. So, we feel really good about the skill that we brought in, the level of athleticism that we've brought in. I think it's going to be a surprise to a lot of people. Just what we're about. We have some really solid kids. We have no issues. We just have we have good vibes going on around this way, and so we're aiming big here.
I have to make the Indiana connections everywhere I can, okay? I got to give me a second here to make them. You got associate head coach Rhett Wierspo's brother on your staff. That's not new. He's been on your staff. But then also
Yes.
Sarah Scalia, who played here, the sharpshooter for Indiana. Now you have her sister on your roster. First of all, I can see how much you love Indiana just based on that still. But what is Amber at? I watched a lot of her last year, but how much does she bring to this team?
Well, she's a proven scorer. Great kid. She handles her business both on and off the court. She brings a lot of skill to the table. She's like I mentioned, a great scorer at 15 points a game at her last destination and in the Summit League, which is a quality league. She's a kid that can shoot the basketball, get to the basket. And so she brings a lot. She brings a lot to the table. I think she's going to surprise some people for sure.
Amber, I remember watching you a couple years ago, and I think it might have been your freshman year. I think it was, and just being really, really impressed with the way that you play the game. And you've been here kind of through the growth of this program now. How special is that for you to look back at kind of where this program was when you first got here to where you are now and kind of the excitement building heading into the season?
Yeah, it's really cool to see how we've developed over the years, not like just me personally and as a team in our program. And I think it's really good. You could see it in the numbers too, how we just keep on getting better and better every year. And I think that's going to keep on going, keep rolling this year, and just looking forward to it.
What excites you the most about this group of players that you're going to be playing with this year?
I just think my teammates are, I think we play for each other really well. And I think just being on the court and supporting each other as well through that, helping, even if new people, like we have only one freshman really this year, but just helping everyone on the court to succeed and be the best we can.
Absolutely. And someone else coming back that I want to talk about is Ilsa DeVries, and I will keep saying this as long as I live, but the freshman to sophomore year jump is a real thing. It's real, right? Like it's big. I'm excited to see what she can do this year, but talk to me about where you feel like she's grown the most this offseason.
Well, I think she's settling down from a comfort perspective. I just think that the international experience is paying dividends for her. She had some success, this past summer in Portugal. She's gotten stronger. She's bigger. She's more athletic. She's playing with a lot more confidence, as expected. Same with Tamar. Tamar has really settled into her role on the team. And she does a lot in regards to what she brings to the table defensively, offensively, so that jump, as you said, from their freshman year to their sophomore year, I mean, it's typically a big jump. And the great thing about them is they accrued a lot of minutes, a lot of starts last year. And so, we certainly expect some good things from them because of that. We really invested a lot into them. this past year, and so far it's really showing some good signs.
Yeah, absolutely. Another player I want to talk about briefly here is someone you brought in through the transfer portal, Brooke Blumenfield. She knows this league really well, right? How cool is it to get someone that you don't necessarily have to teach the ABCs of the MAC, right? How nice has that been from a coaching perspective, and what's impressed you about her?
Well, Brooke is, I mean, there's so many things to talk about in regards to Brooke as far as what she brings, but, she's a capable scorer at 9 points a game in only 20 minutes at Northern. So she already knows how to score. She understands that. I think just from a defensive standpoint, she's making huge strides from where she was to where she currently is. She's learning a lot about herself in a good way, and I think she's building, her confidence is building. She's settling in our style of play and how we like to play, and the things that we take very seriously. She's learning to take very seriously. We could be no more proud to have her. She's just one of the other kids that that have accrued like over 240 starts, I think, between all of them. And so she's a more than capable starter because she's done it before. So last year we would have stretches where we would struggle to score. She's a big part of our ability to probably stop runs this year, just like these other kids that we have. So, we're excited. We know we can just simply throw the ball to her and she can make play. That's a big thing.
And you guys do. You have a lot of kind of new players this year that I haven't seen in your system quite yet. Who's someone that maybe I'm not looking at that I should be watching that's really impressed you and had a good offseason?
Honestly, all of them, being honest. I think that we've had a really quality offseason. One kid that's we could talk about all of them. Clatta was sixth man of the year in Conference USA, so she's pretty good. I think she averaged 9 points a game in 20 minutes there. And one thing about us, I think we do a good job of helping our transfers. Every transfer we've had has outplayed their previous place. So I don't think these kids are going to be any different. Macy Taylor's another one. There are days where she's the best guard on our floor, and Nudia. There are days where she's, the best guard on the floor. Defensively, she's doing a lot of great things for us. She's a kid that's grown up in our system. Ashton can really, really shoot the basketball. So we feel really, really good about the transfers that we brought in. They certainly fit our style of play and what it is we're trying to do. We can shoot the basketball, no question, and make plays.
I love it. Amber, I heard that you are an architecture major and that you make a bunch of stuff and you even give some of it to your coaches, right? You give some of that stuff to them to keep in their office or whatever it might be. What's your favorite thing that you've been able to make as an architecture major that you've given to one of your coaches?
I think it was freshman year. I have a lot of cool projects that I've done. Some of them were way too big to even bring in here. But there was one of I made a little basketball court and it's just show rhythm. It was made out of basswood, and I gave that to Coach Ben, and he still has everything that I've given him in his offices too. But I think that one, because it was even the Miami basketball court, so it was really cool. I kind of replicated it in a sense and showed the rhythm with it. But yeah.
I think he collects them at this point. I might have talked to him. He might have told me that he has a bunch of them in his office and he loves them and that you're super passionate about it. And I think that's really cool. I love hearing about, what you guys do off the court. I think architecture is such a unique thing too. And even if you can combine those things and make a basketball court, how cool is that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very.
I love it. And Glenn, I heard you also have a special interest that I wanted to touch on here that takes place in your office. I heard you have 15 plants. Is that right?
I have a lot. I don't know exactly how many. I think that speaks to my age. So there are certain things that interest me more now at 50 years old that didn't quite interest me 10 years ago. So my daughter has my daughter's about the plant life. And I don't know. I saw how cool they were, and so I kind of collect them now. So I have them at home. I have them in my office. They give us a little different life to our office, to my office. So.
Do you remember to water them every day? Because I feel like I'd forget.
Well, I don't water them every day. So. Oh no. No, you gotta know how to take care of them. You gotta know how to take care of them. Yeah, you gotta know how to take care of them. But
absolutely.
They're cool. It's cool. I like them.
Yeah. I need to see a picture of like the 15. I heard 15. I was like, is this taking over your whole office? Do we just have plants, coming from the
They're
ceiling?
they're growing. They're growing. It's cool to watch them grow, like to nurture them, and that's enough of
I
that.
love
But
it.
I
No,
I
I
do
love
enjoy
it. I love it. What are your expectations? What's the ceiling of this group heading into year 3 for you? What do you hope to accomplish?
I mean, I expect to win our league. I expect to get in the tournament. I expect to win games in the tournament. That's my expectation. We see that we finished seventh, so I think there's a we're picked seventh, so I think there's a disconnect there. But there's great coaches in this league, and there are great players in this league, and it's our responsibility to prove people wrong. But I know what I see every day, and I think we're certainly better than we were last year. And so I think Amber can speak to that too. And so I think we're just able to do things that we hadn't been able to do. And I honestly, when I look at our roster and I see it every day, there's not one thing, not one area where we're not better than what we were last year. So I think I feel good about where we are.
What's been the coolest part of the last few years for you? Because for me, it feels like just yesterday I was writing a story about you taking the job at Miami, Ohio. Like it feels like just yesterday, and it's flown by. What's been the coolest part of building up this program for you?
I think the coolest part is just the practice piece. I know what practices were like our first year as opposed to what they look like right now. The fact that we've just been able to accumulate really good talent. I think it's been cool. It's like just the pure witnessing of growth. And being able to see kids like Amber and Nudia, kids that have been here since the very beginning, and just watch them, physically, emotionally, just grow and improve as players and as people. And to me, that's probably the coolest thing.
Yeah, well, it's been very cool to watch over the past few years, and I'm excited to get a glimpse of what you guys look like soon here and see what you're able to do. And I appreciate you coming on to talk.
I appreciate you. Thank you
you.
so much. Thank you, Toledo.
Great talking with you.
You too. Take care.
Next up, we're going to have UMass come on and join us. We got head coach Mike Leffler coming in with Megan Olbrys, and they'll be coming on shortly to talk about their upcoming season. They bring back, a couple key players this year that we're definitely going to talk through, including Megan. They're coming in now, so let's get them in here, and we'll talk to UMass head coach Mike Leffler and Megan Olbrys. How are you guys doing today? Oh no, we got the audio again. We're having some audio troubles today. Let's see.
How about now?
Oh, we got you now. How are you doing?
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, very excited to talk to you today. I don't know if you guys know, I'm from the state of Massachusetts, so this is very exciting. I've been to UMass before. I came up for a men's basketball game a few years ago. I love the campus, love what you guys have been able to do over there. So this is exciting for me to get to talk to you. What's this offseason been like for you, Mike?
The off season's been great. I mean, we've had so much continuity. I feel like we're a lot farther ahead than we were at this time last year. And I think the players that are back understand the expectations, understand what I want day in and day out for the program. And it's honestly been a heck of a lot of fun the last 18 months.
Yeah, absolutely. Megan, you're entering your senior year this year, but this is just your second year at UMass. What do you feel like you learned from year one with this program that you're taking into year two?
I totally learned a lot, especially I would say one thing for sure is the aspect of leadership, being able to perform with all my teammates and also guide them through the wins and the losses, the good and bad times, is definitely something that helped me grow as a player and a person.
Yeah, what do you feel like you've been working on the most this offseason that you're, excited to show off when the season starts in a week or two here?
Just really trying to expand my game inside and out for sure.
Yeah. What's impressed you, Mike, about the growth from obviously, she's entering her senior year, but she was kind of a freshman to you last year, right? She was new to you. So what's impressed you about her offseason?
I mean, thankfully, I did get to know Meg in the recruiting process a little bit, and just loved how hard she played and the emotion she played with, and was really excited that she was joining our program last year. And I think as the year grew on, one, she became more and more of an emotional leader for us on the court, which we needed, but also we really relied on her in the post scoring, and I think she was 2 for 5 from three last year. We know she can shoot the three. So I think it's just helping her expand her game, face up on post ups, be a little more versatile that way, and then help us spread the floor. And I think it's something we've talked about, something she's bought into. And, obviously, all teams this year we're a work in progress individually and as a group. But I really like the direction of our team.
So can we expect you to be shooting the lights out this year, Megan?
Hopefully, I think so. We'll see.
I'm excited to see it. Absolutely.
She's got to
And
take
you
him
guys
first. She's got to take him first before she
gotta take
makes
him
him.
to
So
make
we
them.
want to get her taking him. Got to take him to make him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You bring back a really, really good core of players, right? Alongside Megan, you bring back Ali and Yamani. How important was that to have that experience kind of built in? And obviously you're able to build your roster around that and add a couple transfers, and you got a few freshmen coming in, but you have that core kind of to build upon.
Yeah, the way the roster developed and played out this year is really an ideal world for me. Again, a bulk of our roster is back. There's a lot of continuity, and there's expectations that our team understands on and off the court, and our upperclassmen can share with our newcomers, whether it's transfers or our freshmen coming in. So I think we really check the box that way. And then for us on the court, I was really impressed with just our ability to adapt game plan wise last year. And I think this year, starting in the summer, we were able to dive into the details a little bit more. And we knew the team coming back, so we could sit down and say, hey, as a coaching staff, this is where we want to improve on. How are we going to do that? We weren't just fielding a new team, and we know our team coming into the year, and that's a huge plus in this day and age.
Yeah. Megan, Mike just mentioned kind of some of the expectations that you're conveying to the freshmen and the transfers. After being here for a year, how would you describe those expectations this year?
A lot of expectations come from something that we pride on, being competitive, vocal, and together. I think those three things are something, like I said before, what we pride on, and just being consistent is definitely something that will help us get to where we want to be at.
Yeah, Mike, where do you feel like it's from your returning players or from the players you added? Where do you feel like you improved the most?
I think we're a lot faster. Honestly, we wanted to get easier baskets this year from last year. We had some moments where we struggled to score last year. So I think getting easier baskets, playing a little faster, I think we were able to do that in two ways. One, recruiting. We just have a faster roster and a more athletic roster coming into this year. And then also schematically doing some different things in transition. And we started working on that in the summer. And I've just been really impressed with our group and how they've bought into that. And I think they see the positive results.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about your two transfers that are coming in, Ayana and Leah. What were you looking for when you wound up getting them, and what do they kind of provide for you this season?
Yeah, I mean, you're always looking to add depth and present opportunity to all you newcomers. And Ayana is someone that we recruited out of high school and was a 3-level scorer, really an athletic guard. And I think it was down to us, URI, and maybe Fordham the first time around. So I felt like Meg, I felt like I knew Ayana. She took multiple visits to UMass. I got to know her mom and dad really well. I got to know her game really well. So that was a real easy one for us. And I think she fit into what we wanted to become. And then, Leah adds depth to our front court. And I think there's versatility there inside and out. And I've been really pleasantly surprised or just really happy with our additions and our newcomers, Leah, Ayana, and then our two freshmen as well.
Megan, tell me a little bit about your coach here. What makes him such a great coach? What made you want to come back here? And what's he like off the court?
In the transfer portal, I definitely got to experience a bunch of new coaching styles again, because even just going from where I was at, and just having a better idea what I was looking for. Something that I really was honing in on was just trying to be a better person off the court first and find someone who really cares about you, not just as a player, but truly as a person, cares about your family and like what you want to do with after basketball, because obviously it won't last forever. So that was stuff a definitely like notable thing that Coach Loeffler had for me in place, and just providing the opportunity. I mean, countless times he showed me like where I could fit and how it would work, and honestly, it was just me taking the opportunity, in which I did. So
Yeah,
And we're
absolutely.
thankful she did.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike, I need to ask you a Massachusetts question just because, of course, and you've been in the Northeast for, nearly your whole career, right? You
Yeah.
went to school in the Northeast.
Yeah.
You've been here for a long time, both of you, really. Where's your favorite city in Massachusetts? Where are you going to go if you have a day off? Where are you headed for like a day at the beach, or are you going to the city? What's your spot?
I'm going to let Meg answer first here.
In the summertime, now I would say probably go to my teammate Jess's house, in the Cape, anywhere in the Cape.
I love
But definitely just to spend the day and do a bunch of like fun things. Definitely go back to the city. I don't think a 2-hour drive is very far for me. So in Boston, just there.
You
Yeah.
going on are you going to shop on Newbury Street? Are you going to Faneuil? Where are you
Yeah,
going?
walk around. Yeah, walk around. Do some nice things. I don't know.
Where are you going,
Shopping.
Mike? Are you going to Boston too?
I'm going to, Meg gave you two answers.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you one answer. I'm going to go to Boston. My first apartment was in Beacon Hill.
Oh, I
Hung
love
out a
that.
lot on Charles Street. So I will be right back there. My wife worked at Mass General, which is right at the end of Charles Street there, and had a lot of fun times. I think I lived in Boston for like 13, 14 years, and I feel like I became an adult in the city. So love the city, love the state. This place is home for me for sure.
Yeah, I miss it. I've had like Indiana summers, which do not compare at all to Massachusetts summers in the slightest. I was so spoiled, and I didn't even realize it. So I got to come back to those Massachusetts summers.
We still promote that we have the 4 seasons here,
I know.
but I know you got a lot of pride in IU. I
No,
know
I
Kurt Signetti
got a lot of
re-upping
pride in
makes you excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I got one more one more fun thing that I want to hit you on before I let you go, and that's that someone told me that you're like a ginormous Taylor Swift fan, and I got to say I love that. I heard Mike that you're a big super fan here. Give me your
I'm a super
favorite
fan.
Taylor Swift song? Do you like the new album?
I like the new album. My wife is not going to like this answer, but my first year here as a head coach was a difficult one. And we listened to a lot of All Too Well, the 10-minute version around the house to get through it. But once Meg showed up and Yamani showed up and Allie got eligible, things got really exciting again. So then we went into a little bit of the faster Taylor Swift stuff.
She's got songs for everything, right? There's a song for
She
every
does.
emotion you're feeling. I love it. Did you make it to the Eras tour? Did you get to go to a concert?
We didn't. We a lot of talk about it, and we did not make it, and I'm disappointed on that one. So I'm gonna blame my wife on that. I'll bring her up again. I hate to throw her under the bus. I'm sure she's watching, but I was ready to go. I was like, we can go out of the country. It's probably cheaper to get a ticket in Europe or Canada than here in the States. I was ready. She didn't want to pull the trigger. So.
Well, she'll tour again. You'll catch her the next time she's in Boston. You get to go to the city and see her. You mentioned earlier how excited you are about this group and how this is kind of your ideal mix as a coach, right? You have your returning core that you're excited about. You have the newcomers coming in. When you think about, this season and the schedule you have coming up, you play some tough in-state teams, right? You got Harvard and BC. What's kind of the key to getting this team to reach their full potential?
I just honestly, it's a boring answer, but getting better every day. And every year, my goal is to just help us become the best team we can be. I think we have a high ceiling. I think we can get there. I think we'll do the right things on the court. I think a lot of it does lie in our leadership and our players' hands, because as we moved into January and February last year, our team got closer and closer. And one of our seniors, Steph Kaleja, like it just meant the world to her. And that made it mean the world to everyone else. And we had a team that wanted to keep playing. And I think if we have a group that can become that, once max season rolls around and in the winter, we have a chance to do something really special.
Megan, do you feel like you have the pieces this year? You have that group that's going to be able to do something special?
Oh yeah, we definitely do.
Well, I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see what you can do. And when I come, back to my real home in Massachusetts, I will have to stop by for a game and see what you're all about. And I'm very excited to do it. And I'll come
We'll have a
with a.
T-shirt waiting for you.
I was gonna say I'll come and bring you a Taylor Swift T-shirt. We can swap. We'll swap T-shirts. I'll bring you Taylor Swift. I'll take the UMass one home. I'm excited. Let's do it. It's in the books. I appreciate you taking the time to talk and excited to see what you do here in a few weeks.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next up, we're going to bring in Eastern Michigan. We got head coach Sahar Nuseve coming in and CC Aleko. So when they come in, we will talk to them. And here they are. How are you guys doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Excited to get to talk to you heading into year 2 with the program. To start off, what do you feel like is the biggest thing you learned from year 1 here, Sahar?
Great question. I think I was actually just asked this a couple hours ago. The power of resiliency and continuing to move forward regardless of circumstance. And we did. I mean, last year was really rough on paper. However, I do think we continued to take step by step. We moved forward and we're in a really great spot now. I also learned the power of people and the makeup of your people. This offseason, we had a pretty big roster overhaul, and the biggest characteristics we were looking for in that roster were workers, winners, and believers. And there is so much power in that, in bringing together people who have the same mindset and the same approach to the work we're doing. It's not just what you do, it's how you do it. And I feel like there's a lot of alignment here this year. So I've learned the importance of that.
Cece, you were obviously a really big bright spot in what you guys were able to do last year. You led the MAC in double-doubles last season. What can we expect from you heading into this year?
The same thing.
I'm excited to see it. What have you been working on? What does that look like for you over the summer?
Honestly, during the summer, I played a lot for Team Canada, so 3v3, so I got to expand my game a little bit more and just challenging myself on defense and on offense. So I do think I am working on my 3-ball to be more efficient, but also just being more versatile, being able to bang inside, be physical, play defense in a better way than last year. And I'm in a better shape than I was, so that's a thing.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is French your first language? Is French what you speak?
Yes, it's my first language.
So, I took French for 7 years, and I'm pretty terrible at it still. But I've been trying to, when I'm talking to French-speaking players, I've been trying to practice at least a phrase or two. So I'm going to say something, and I want you to grade me. I didn't practice this. I need to grade me on my sentence structure here. Je suis excité de te regarder. Was my sentence
yes,
structure
that's good.
Okay.
Yes, that was good. That was good.
That's what I was trying to say, that I'm excited to watch you. I should have added l'année this year. But I'm very excited to see what you're able to do this year. What are your kind of first impressions of the group that you're surrounded by this season?
Okay, my first impression of our group is how mature we are and how connected we are. We genuinely love each other, love spending time with each other, and we're the freshman class, the transfer are really mature. So I think that's something. They're mature, we're mature, connected, and we're people that care about others. Yeah. So that's my first impression.
Absolutely. Sahar, obviously you add some really meaningful transfers, but you also have a big freshman class, which is maybe getting rarer and rarer as the portal is, increasing in usage, right? What do you like about this group of freshmen that you brought in?
The best thing about a freshman is they don't know what they don't know. And so they're pretty fearless. And I love that. Every day is a new adventure for them and with them. And so for coaches, it requires a little bit more patience than it would be with CC or some of our more veterans, but they're just fearless. And the other word I would use is fun. They are a blast to be around. They have fun. They know how to compete with joy, which has been a big thing with our team. So the freshmen have brought a fearlessness. They've brought a fun, and they're just great to be around.
Yeah, absolutely. And then kind of going along the new pieces route here, you did have a 5-person transfer class come in, so some newness this season. Who's impressed you the most of the newcomers? It can be a transfer or a freshman. I know you probably want to talk about all of them, and I wish we had the time to, but who's someone
Yeah,
who
we have
I should
13.
really be keeping an eye on?
I'm going to start with the person who's going to be essentially the engine for us with the ball. I think Noe Thea from Lipscomb, originally from Spain, but she's a senior. She has really taken the reins as our primary ball handler. And she can go. And when I call her an engine, she is, I think Cece would agree, she's absolutely an engine. You have no choice but to go with Noe, or she's going to blow by everybody and go coast to coast for a layup. So if you want to be a part of the offense, you better be sprinting in transition. So she's probably the first person that comes to mind. I'll name one other newcomer that has some experience, and that's our 4th captain. So Cece, Brooklyn, Noe, and then Artemis, a transfer from Western Michigan, actually a graduate transfer, originally from Greece. I'll mention her. I think she's been a really steady calm for us. She jokes about being kind of the grandma of the group, and she really does have a calming presence, both off the court and on the court. And I know for CC and Brooklyn in particular, with a very freshman heavy team, they've appreciated being able to lean on both Noe and Artemis. But I think Artemis has been shooting the 3 ball really well. She just does her job. She does her job. She keeps things moving. She's extremely coachable, and she's added to our leadership.
So Noe is someone that I wanted to talk about because, and this is kind of a funny story, so stick with me here. The first ever sideline reporting task I was given was when Lipscomb came to Indiana my freshman year. So it was 2 or 3 years ago now. And I remember watching her and being really impressed with what she did. Okay. So I'm a student here at Indiana still, transparently. I have 1 semester left. And my last ever sideline assignment that I have, and maybe I'm breaking this to you guys now, I'm doing your game when you come to Indiana. So I get to do her. I get to talk to her again and talk about her again and see how much she's improved over the last few years. So I was really excited when I saw that you guys got her and that I get to see her here in Assembly Hall again.
Oh, that's awesome. What a cool story. I know she's going to be excited to see you again.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And she was someone who obviously really impressed me when I saw her. And then when I saw that she had entered the transfer portal, I was like, man, whoever gets her, they're lucky. She was really good and just seems like a really cool person too, on and off the court. You talked about how, what you were kind of trying to get and reshaping this team. What do you feel like are the biggest strengths that you either added, or obviously with your returners and CC and a couple others, what do you feel like are the biggest strengths you have this year?
I'm going to go soft skills first, if you don't mind. I think the biggest strength is mentality. I think we have a collective mentality that is aligned, and it's exactly what we want as a program. And we talk about being pro-like in our mindset and our approach. And I think all of our women, and I think Cece used the word maturity, I think all of our women have a really pro-like mentality and approach to our work. And so I think that's absolutely a strength. On court, in terms of more of the X's and O's and the things that supporters and fans see, I think we're really good with tempo, pace, and space. I think that's a strength of ours offensively. And then I think we're going to add a lot of disruptions defensively because we finally have the depth and personnel to do so. And so I think we're going to be looking to speed the game up, and I think that's a strength for us.
Cece, as one of the oldest players on this team this year, what's impressed you about the youngsters and kind of leading this team? What have you been impressed with, and what's that been like for you being a leader on this team?
Okay. I think what impressed me is during the summer with the freshman class, first pickup as a team with no coaches, just between us. They're like getting buckets, like scoring and like talking trash. And I'm not used to that. I was used to that in high school, but not in college. And as a freshman, it's usually you come first pickup, with your it's you're kind of shy. You get buckets, you score, but it's okay. You know what I mean? they were just fearless, like she said, like, and then talking, like, and I was like, oh, I love that. I'm impressed, but like, I love that because they have a lot of like, they know, like, as freshmen, they're really confident, and that's really nice. That's good. So I think I was really impressed of them just being fearless, talking trash during pickup, having fun. Um, and I think that because we have a lot of also mature upperclassmen, nobody was intimidated and like have intimidation towards the fact that, oh, they're freshmen and they're scoring and talking trash. No, like I was like, oh, I love it. Like this is all I always wanted for in my college career, being able to just score, talk trash, and nobody take it personal, and then we just go out, grab coffee, eat dinner, and life is good. So.
Who's the best trash talker on the team?
Oh my God, this is tough. This is tough because you have me.
You're putting yourself number one?
Yes, I have to if I'm being authentic. You have me, you have Adrina, you have Peyton and Believe.
So
but I think Gina is like, say it again?
So there's a lot of you that are going to be talking some trash this year. I love it. I'm excited to see it here in Bloomington. I'm going to be keeping an eye out on you and listening to what you're saying on the court. I'm excited about it. Have you noticed this, Sahar? Have you noticed a difference in kind of the mentality this year?
Absolutely. And I mean, trash talk is one example of, I'll call it spirit and passion. I think there's a lot of spirit and passion for what we do. Because of who we're doing it with. I think the relationships that they've been able to develop off the court, they're just extremely connected and they're extremely close. And so I think now when they suit up and they're competing, they're not just doing it for themselves. They're doing it for the person to their left, the person to their right. And with that comes a lot of passion, comes a lot of love, comes a lot of spirit, whether it's practice or competition. And so I definitely have noticed that. And I think it stems from their relationships and the strength of their relationships.
Another cool thing about your roster, and I think it's maybe becoming more common now, but you have 9 international players on your roster, right? Which is really cool to have so many people from so many different places and cultures. How do you feel like that's added to the dynamic, and what do you like so much about international players?
You grow so much from being exposed to diversity, and I think it's such a beautiful thing when on the court, maybe my communication isn't as effective as Noe talking to Paula in Spanish real quick to address something. I think it's the coolest thing. I love that. I love that CC can grab Believe and they can talk French real quick, from practice to the film room. I think it's a really cool thing. And I love that they've got teammates who embrace that and who want that and who want to learn from just the diverse backgrounds that we have, and learn from each other. I think Peyton's trying to pick up French from CC a little bit. So I think it's a beautiful thing because I think, when you're exposed and you're immersed in a diverse group, in a diverse setting, and there's an inclusiveness, I think that is just an awesome place where you can grow. And that goes beyond the court. That's growth as a person. So we love it. In terms of the international recruitment, specifically this offseason, that wasn't something that we were setting out to do necessarily. Like I said, we were just looking for workers, winners, and believers. And there just happened to be a lot of international women who were like, let's roll. And so it's about finding the right people. And we've got all the right ones in our locker room.
Workers, winners, and believers named Believe, right?
One of them is. Yes, absolutely.
Cece, hearing her talk about, the different languages, is there also trash talk in foreign languages going on, like behind each other? Can you understand it sometimes? Are you talking some trash in French? Are they talking some trash in Spanish? Is that like a whole dynamic on the court?
Not really. Not really. And I don't know if like some of my teammates talk trash in Spanish. I don't think they do, but me and Believe sometimes like we don't really talk trash in French. We may say things in French and then laugh at it, but we don't really talk trash in French. It's really rare.
Yeah. I mean, you
Use
got to make it easy for them to understand the trash you're talking, right? You want
right.
them to
Yeah.
know.
You got to own it, right? Like whatever you say, you got to own it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. I'm excited to watch you guys soon. And especially when I get to see you in person here in whatever it is, a month and a half. I'm very excited to see, how you grow from the start to then. I appreciate you coming on to talk.
Thank you
Thank
so much for your
you.
time.
Yeah, absolutely. Great talking with you. Next up, we'll have Northern Illinois join us. First-year head coach J.C. Brooks will come on to talk, and we have Alicia Doyle. And they are here, so we're going to bring them in now. How are you guys doing today?
Good, I'll tell you. How are you?
I'm good. Very excited to get talking with you today as you enter your first year as head coach here. What's it been like for you so far? Has it been a crazy off season?
Yes, I still feel like I'm living in a tornado, but still taking it day by day. The last 6 months have absolutely flown by. I wish I had a pause button for a couple more weeks, but we know that's not an option. So here we are.
This is kind of a unique year to be taking over any program, right? Whether it no matter what conference you're in, this was a unique year with everything going on with the portal, with rev share. There was a lot of changes happening. How was it for you, kind of adjusting and approaching the transfer portal and building a roster in this day and age?
Yeah, it was good. I was actually fortunate in the fact that we had 6 returners.
Right.
And we know sometimes this day and age that doesn't happen. If there is a coaching change, sometimes that roster is depleted. So the fact that we had 6 returners who were very familiar with NIU, familiar with the MAC, was exciting for me, where it also allowed me to bring in 5 transfers. And we had 4 freshmen to add to the team as well.
Alicia, you were one of those returners who came back. What is it about this program, this school, and coach that made you want to come back here for your senior year?
Honestly, for Coach Brooks, I could just tell that she was a winner. I mean, she won at Buffalo with the WNIT. So I could just tell that she wanted the best for us. She knows how to win. She's been around winning culture, and that's something that I want. And so that was one of the main reasons I stayed, honestly. So.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned Buffalo. You know this league really well, between Buffalo, between Bowling Green. What do you like so much about the MAC?
Honestly, I like how competitive it is. I'm a big competitor, so I like the style of play. I like how it's upbeat, fast. Yeah, I like to compete, and that's what this league likes to do. So.
Yeah, JC, how about you? Obviously, you know this league very well. What is it about the MAC that made you, want to come here and be starting year 1 here?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the MAC is one of the most competitive mid-major conferences in the country, and being able to spend 5 years at Bowling Green back in the day, and then the last 2 seasons at Buffalo. I played a lot of those contests, so familiar with a lot of teams within the league. But at the end of the day, similar to Alicia, being a part of a competitive league where you play some really good teams, some really good players, but at the end of the day, anybody can win on any given night. So just to build this program and be able to compete in one of the best mid-major conferences in the country was very enticing for me.
Yeah. And obviously you played against Alicia, but now you get to, have her on your team, right? Which must be very cool. What was give me the scouting report when you were playing against her last year? What were you scared to see? Why did you not want to have someone go up against her?
Yeah, no, Alicia, to me, is one of the best guards in our conference, right? With her ability to score the basketball. And, on our scouting report, it was triple level score, right? 3 level score, ability to score it at the rim. Her pull-up jumper is one that I rarely see in the women's game, with her ability to knock that down consistently. And then her 3-point shot, I feel that she can get it off relatively quickly. She can get it off some length and some bigger defenders. But at the end of the day, watching Alicia and being on the other side of it, you could tell she was a competitor, and being able to bring teams in and communicate to them in huddles. But she always had a competitive spirit on both ends of the floor. So now being able to coach her and really see that day in and day out is really special.
Alicia, you obviously had a very impressive season last year. What are we going to see from you this year? What have you been really working on to bring into your senior year of college basketball?
Well, I've had to step into a new role of leadership. So definitely using my voice is one of the biggest things that I'm working on and I'm improving on. And thankfully my teammates, they seem to listen to me. So that, is helpful. But just using my voice as well as demonstrating on the court, like how to work hard, how to show up every single day. So I think those are the main things that I'm working on this season. So.
JC, what can we expect in the way that you guys are going to play this year? Obviously, it's your first year here, and you have some of the players that were here last year, but you add a bunch of new personnel into the mix. What can we expect?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I think anytime you take over a program, you are obviously it's new offensively and defensively for everybody on your roster, but there's new standards and expectations, so being able to have those on a consistent basis in, our three standards that we talk about each and every day, is a high level of energy, high level of communication, and attention to detail. Every practice we're bringing that up, and the girls have really, really embraced that. And now I don't even have to hold them to that standard. They hold each other to that standard. So, going through and continuing to build our offense and defense. But like I mentioned, it's new for all 15. So it's been a little bit slower, right, from a teaching aspect than I would want it to be. But we do, a ton of breakdown stuff so they can get more acclimated within that. But I think that we're going to be a team that plays extremely hard. We're going to be extremely disciplined, right? Disciplined on both ends of the court. And, that is set in practice where they know that we'll do a drill multiple times, if we don't get our goal or we don't, have our standards or have different things in order for us to see success. And then from a tempo style, we want to play up tempo, especially on the offensive end. But you can't go in transition if you can't get stops, right? You can't go in transition if you're taking it out of the net every time. So just being really disciplined on that defensive end of the floor, so we're able to really flow into our offense.
You add 6 transfers into the mix this year, right? Who's someone that I need to be keeping my eye on that's had a really good offseason and is going to step into a big role for you guys?
Yeah, we ended up having 5. We ended up having 5 transfers. And I think the 2 main names that you're going to hear and see a lot is first and foremost our point guard and Kate Galassin. She's a grad transfer out of St. Bonaventure. She's done a fantastic job for us with just setting the tone on both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively. She's running our team from an offensive standpoint and pushing the ball in transition. Yet she's able to really, really defend. I think she can defend 94 feet, which is going to be big for us. The second name is going to be Nevaeh Wingate, and she's a junior transfer out of St. John's. And she's done a fantastic job for us in the paint, just being able to score in multiple different ways, whether that is, paint touches in the lane, whether it's shooting threes, whether it's getting elbow touches. She's very versatile at that post position, which is really, really fitting into our offensive scheme well.
Yeah, it's year 1. You got a lot of newness. What are your hopes for this group? What are you, telling them, whether it's expectations on a day-to-day basis or goals for the end of the year? What are you kind of hoping to accomplish?
Yeah, I think for us right now is just getting better each and every day, right? With everything being so new, learning these different standards and expectations. And we've already grown so much since we got on campus on June 16th, right? To see where we were in July, to literally practice this morning, we're 2 different teams. So, just getting 1% better each and every day, I think is, one of our goals that we look at, right? And it's not just looking at the outlook and what's the end all be all. It's taking one day at a time, one practice at a time, one game at a time, and if we continue to have our different standards and expectations and we continue to grow those, right? Our goal is to be playing our best basketball in March. Right? Everybody loves March Madness, and I think it's madness for a reason. You never know what can happen. So if we really trust this process, right, embrace the journey, we'll see what happens in March.
Alicia, where do you feel like this group has grown the most in the past few months since Coach got here? Where do you feel like the biggest growth has come?
Honestly, I would say definitely being in shape. That's one of the biggest things. I would say that we are in shape, and if we're not, we will be in shape for sure. Also, I like how our style of play is. We are trying to play up pace. Is kind of different from last year. We were more of like a half court type of team, but we're really trying to get up and down the floor this year, and I really like that. So yeah.
What are your goals for the year, Alicia? What do you hope to accomplish both as a team and then kind of personally for you in your senior year?
As a team, I'm hoping that we're able to learn and build with one another, build our chemistry. The culture is different. I mean, the whole, lineup that we have is different from last year. So just connecting with one another, also just doing what Coach Brooks wants us to do to the best of our ability. And then hopes for me personally is to honestly just keep being me, I guess. So keep working hard, keep competing, be better, I guess, shooting wise in all aspects, tighten that up a little bit. And yeah.
So you probably know Northern Illinois as a school, as a place, a little bit better than your coach does, right? Have you been giving her some advice on where to go to get food, go shopping? Have you been kind of giving her the walk around of it?
Well, honestly, last year was my first year, so I'm still a little new.
You're still learning too?
So yeah, I'm still a little new. And then I do go out, but like I go more to like Chicago, and because we're just like an hour away from Chicago, so I go out there more than around here in DeKalb. But yeah, I'm a little new to this still. So.
What's your favorite place, JC, that you've been able to discover so far? Do you go into Chicago a lot too? Like, what's your favorite thing about being at Northern Illinois?
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things about DeKalb is the fact that we have best of both worlds, right? When you are on campus here, you have a college campus feel, you have a very supportive community that loves, NIU women's basketball. Yet an hour down the road, you have one of the biggest cities in the country. So I definitely have my favorite spots that I have found in DeKalb, especially from a restaurant standpoint. I am a bit of a foodie where I don't like to cook really. So I'm always trying new places. Right. But then you have, like I said, this is the city of Chicago, whether that's going shopping, whether it's going to a show. I've been able to do that, whether it's going to a concert, whether you go to your professional sports teams, where it is, like I said, just an hour down the road, which I have loved. But we truly do have best of both worlds.
Absolutely. Well, it was great talking to you. Excited to see what you guys are able to do in year one. And thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate you talking to me.
Thanks, Talia. I appreciate everything that you do for our game and, follow you online and everything. So definitely appreciate everything that you bring to us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Great talking with you.
Thanks.
Next up, we're going to bring on Buffalo head coach Kristen Sharkey, who's entering her first season, and we're going to bring in Gabby McDuffie to talk with her. They're coming in now. How are you guys doing today?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. Very excited to talk with you today in your first season here at Buffalo. What's it been like so far? How crazy was the offseason for you?
The offseason was crazy. I had 0 players when I took the job. We ended up getting Paul Lopez, who the Mac's familiar with, to stay, and then also a redshirt freshman, Anaya Rowe. But, we had to put a team together. For that first month of my job, it was 15 official visits, literally drop somebody off at 5 p.m. to fly out, pick somebody up at 9 p.m. to fly in. We went 13 of 15 in official visits, so super glad we got who we wanted, and just really like the way we've been gelling. So just exciting time.
How special and how cool has it been for you to be back here in this place where obviously you played here and you were an assistant there with Felicia. You spent really your whole career with her, right? How special is it to be back there leading this team now?
It's everything. So I was like, what I say to our players all the time is like, when you go to a place, you want to be able to be hired back at the place that you left. Like leave an impact somewhere. If you're going to walk into a space and have this job or this opportunity or a moment, and embrace it fully, because you don't know who's watching. You don't know if, hey, maybe I'll give one of them an opportunity after they're done. You never know who's looking at you. But if you walk into a place and you make your mark, put one foot in front of the other every day and go after something bigger than yourself, you don't know what can happen. So it's been so special for me to be back. Buffalo has become my second home. Bills Mafia, baby. So we're all out here. So I get to enjoy that again. But yeah, just super grateful to be back, to be honest, and being able to come back to a place that I'm familiar with as my first head coaching position is really special. So the way this community has embraced me and embraced our young ladies it's been overwhelming. So it's been incredible.
Well, you mentioned maybe giving one of them an opportunity down the line. I heard that, when you were finished playing at Buffalo, what you said was you wanted to get the job done and you wanted to get a MAC championship. So that's why you wanted to join the staff back then. How does that stack up with your goals now heading into year one?
Yeah, we're going full throttle. I'm not gonna feel just because we had to put a team together in last minute in April that we can't come out here and compete to win a championship. We're instilling in our ladies now that it doesn't matter who we play. If we come out and we play disciplined defense, we run the floor, we have great spacing, we talk, we fly around, we have love for one another as we're out on that court, magic can happen. In 2016, we won it as the 8th seed. So understanding now early on that we're going to have some growing pains, we're going to have to learn, we're going to have to watch film, we're going to have to really buy into what we're doing. But that's the accumulation of the season. It's all about your passion and your perseverance. You keep that love and you keep that passion through this season. Come March, everything we persevered through, we're gonna have a real shot at the end. So I think that's just the biggest thing right now is getting everybody who's come from all different places. A lot of our players, Gabby's really the only one on our team that's played real minutes in college. So right now it's just getting through some bumps and some bruises, obviously, like with growing pains of playing minutes, but they're just responding, they're learning, they're hungry. My phone literally blows up every night by somebody asking me some question, giving me some kind of like, hey, what if we did this? Could we do that? And that's I love that, right? Like we're all in this together. It's not my team, it's our team. And this is university and this city's team. So we're just going to continue to build it.
I love that mentality. Gabby, if I'm not mistaken, you're from Buffalo, right? So what's it been like for you getting to come home and play here and be a part of this team growing?
Yeah, it's a blessing. It's awesome being able to be coached by someone who was here and was a beast while they were here. Coach Sharkey and Coach Summer. We're getting coached by the best people that have ever done it with Buffalo across their chest. So it's awesome.
Yeah, what's it been like? Tell me, Kristen, describe Gabby for me a little bit for people who haven't seen her play yet. Tell me what they can expect from her this year.
She's different. You have not seen anybody like Gabby McDuffie. Sorry. I promise you. This young lady, I'm sorry, she goes hard every single possession, every single play. She leads. She gets this group together. We're a young group. We have a lot of young kids. Our strength's in our youth. But Gabby, the way she's leading right now and bringing everybody under their wing and, holding everybody accountable, she's literally a second voice in that locker room for our coaching staff. And she just gets it. And, she's Buffalo born and raised. And this is a kid I watched her. She would come to our camps back in the day. I watched her since she was in like 5th grade. And
wow.
She had been going, JUCO and then Damon and then went to Edinburgh. She graduated. So we literally got her in the middle of the summer. But I watched her and I was like, oh my God, that kid's so freaking tough. When it clicks for that kid, it's going to click. And now I get her as a young woman ready to go after something big and just really proud of her. I'm really glad that she's here.
Yeah. Gabby, what's the biggest thing you've been working on this offseason heading into your grad year here?
Yeah, I think just being vocal, leading with my voice, finding a way to pick the younger kids up, bring them up to a level that we want to win and we want to be at.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys, you have a really fun game that I'm excited to watch and that should, get people packing the stands, right? You guys host Kentucky. Obviously, you have another big one at Vermont, which is a really good team. But that one at Kentucky feels like a real opportunity to help get this fan base together, right? And have a big crowd and have a really talented team come to your place. How cool was that for you that you get to play that game in your first year at your place?
Oh, it's awesome. It's just a blessing. Like Coach Sharkey said, I was Buffalo born and raised, so this community is everything to me. The way they've supported me just through every single step is awesome, and I can't wait to see them fill the arena up for us.
Yeah, how about you, Kristen? What is it like to have, that level of opponent? Obviously, you were just coaching at a team that's kind of near that level, right? But having an SEC team come to your place is kind of rare, right? Like, how cool is that for you?
It's very cool. I think it's an opportunity, right? Like all you can do in life is work hard and hope for a great opportunity. So when I took the job and Kentucky reached out, I was like, yeah, if we're going to play somebody, let's play somebody. And for me, it's this teaching this team is all about respect all and fear none. So when we step out there, it's 40 minutes. So you never know what happens in 40 minutes. Like they could come in and have a real off day. We could come in and just be clicking like on a whole different level, right? And to be able to have a fan base like Buffalo behind us, that's just going to rev us up. So we're just super lucky to be able to have a team like Kentucky come in here. I know I'm excited. This will be my first real game coaching in Alumni Arena and get to do it against the SEC powerhouse. So that's going to be a special moment for me and special moment for Summer and our staff. And, to be able to pack this place is going to be amazing.
How do you envision this team playing? What is your play style as a coach that you're trying to put in place right now?
So our defense is going to lead to our offense. We want to play fast and we want to play together. And, we're going to be pressuring up the floor. We're going to be jumping passing lanes. We're going to really put the pressure on teams and just really make sure that, if we can defend the basketball, if we don't score, they can't score, right? So that's our control. The only thing we can control is our energy and our effort on the defensive end. We're going to have days where, hey, we might shoot 10 for 25 from the three, but we might have days where we shoot 4 for 25 from the three. But we have to control the defensive side of the ball. And they're really buying into that, and especially this one right here. So she's leading the way on our defensive end, and we're just going to, really try to push the pace. I want to take a lot of shots and really create havoc for some other teams.
Absolutely. And you mentioned it earlier, but obviously a lot of newcomers on this team. So other than Gabby, we've talked about you now, but tell me someone else, Kristen, that I need to be paying attention to this year that's really stepped up, that's going to take on maybe a bigger role than they had in the past or a bigger role than I would maybe expect. Who should I be keeping my eye on?
We have got a very special core of freshmen that I was very lucky to get. So I think all 4 of our freshmen, we got Meg Lucas from Australia. We got Diane Jackson from Chicago. And we got Anaya Rowe who redshirted. She's special as well. So I did really just be looking out at our freshmen. We got Deanna Thompson all the way from LA. She was a kid that was committed to come to our business school here. Harvard Westlake, super high academic kid. Her dad sent film and I watched 15 seconds and I was like, wow, that kid's special. So I think that, between those guys, I think we have a real shot at freshman of the year in our league. And I'm not afraid to say that because the work that they're putting in right now, they're going to reap the benefits of that some way. But I definitely think we got a lot of young ones that are going to be special to watch over the course of the next 4 years.
I love that. Wait, I want to go back to that. She was just planning to go to your business school, was not planning to play basketball in college at all. And then dad sends you the film. You're like, absolutely, you're on the team. And she's been really good.
Yeah. So she obviously what they've done, the social media here and our creative team, the stuff that they put out, they've put Buffalo on the map. Obviously the team last year going on that WNIT run and being able to be one of the last 4 teams playing on that, weekend. That made people be like, oh, she had other Division I offers. But I have no idea. I tell her all the time, you're meant to be here. I'm supposed to be your coach. This is supposed to happen. So let's just don't worry about the mistakes. Don't worry about the growing pains. Let's just be all of you. Be great because you are supposed to be here. That was like a God wink or some from the universe, whatever you believe in. But that kid's supposed to be here. She's supposed to play for us, and she's supposed to be her little sister because they're like twins. Gabby got her back, 100%.
I love that. Yeah. What's the chemistry been like, Gabby, with you, with everyone, with the freshmen? What's it been like kind of integrating this new group in?
Yeah, we're growing every day. We're just working to get better, learning from our mistakes, just trying to not make the same mistake twice. I think that's our big thing. When we make it once, we want to just fix it, correct it, and move on. We're starting to gel and just be able to see what everyone can do and put it all together.
Yeah. And you obviously, I wanted to mention this too. You come from a really big sports family too, right? Your brother obviously currently playing in the NFL. Your dad played football where you are right now. How cool is that angle of it being where he played and you didn't want to go the flag football route? You went basketball instead?
Yeah, it's awesome. My dad played here. My 2 uncles actually played here. I had a cousin that played football here too. My brother, he went to play football. I have a little brother that's over at Cornell University right now playing in his freshman year. So it's awesome. All football, but they definitely helped me. They pushed me to be the person I am, toughened me up a little bit. So it's been awesome. It's a blessing.
I love it. Kristen, you like I said earlier, you've spent most of your, last however many years with Felicia, right? Whether you were playing for her or coaching with her for the last however many years. What's the biggest thing you learned from her, whether it was when you were a player or being able to be on her staff?
You gotta win the process. You gotta fall in love with the process, right? Yeah. She always says that winning is easy, the process is hard. So I think that's the biggest lesson right now, and then definitely through this first year, like it's a process. And the good thing that I've learned from her is that I love the process, and I enjoy watching these young people grow from point A to point B. And that's my purpose in this game, right? We're gonna win basketball games, but it's gonna be residuals of how much we care about each one of our players and each goal that they have, and how are we going to take them from where they are now to where they're trying to go. And that's process. That's life, right? Life is a process. You never know what life is going to throw your way. So we're just trying to teach those lessons through this amazing game that can open up so many doors for each of them.
One of the things that she told me that she told you when you took this job was to be your authentic self, and that'll get you far, right? How have you taken that advice so far, and what's it been like kind of getting used to being a head coach for the first time?
I think that's true. She did say that. And I think that's something that I always try to be as genuine as possible. And I think that's why we did so well in the recruiting process. And, with our 26 class, like, I'm me. This is what you're going to get. Right. I'm kind of weird. I'm fun. I like to have fun. Right. We go have fun. We, with a serious purpose. And just trying to be myself completely. Like, my wife's around, my baby's at practice right now. I don't even know who has her. But we're people too. So I think the more coaches can be transparent in their humanity, that goes way farther than being like, get on the line, do this and that. Because, I've been in their shoes. These young people they can sniff a fake out real quick. So just trying to be completely who I am. And I think I believe in them and they believe in me just as much.
Well, I'm excited to see you guys play. I will certainly be watching your opening day game against Kentucky. I will definitely be tuning in and excited to see what you do in year one here. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk today.
Thank you. We appreciate you and all you do. Keep that portal thing going. Twitter.
You're awesome. Talking with you.
So much. All right.
Next up, we're going to bring in Toledo head coach Ginny Bogus, and we'll have player Atrisha Numba coming on to talk to us too, who transferred over from Towson. They're going to come in now. How are you guys doing? Hey, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Very excited to talk to you today. How's everything going? How's your day been?
I think it's been great. It's an off day today. So every off day is a good day.
I'm sure it's a good day for you then, Patricia. Very exciting. I love it. Obviously, heading into this year, this is your second season at the helm here at Toledo. What do you feel like is the biggest thing you're taking away from year one into year two, which starts here in less than 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think just a better understanding of the league, kind of my personal rhythm and how I attack the day in my process. I think we have one of the best fan bases in the country. And so being able to be connected and engaged with them while we're introducing this incredible group of 7 new players to them, everything just feels a little bit more normal and natural in year two. Yes, last year, everything was new for the first time. And so I feel really good about season 2, year 2, especially when I've got this young lady to my right with me out there hooping every day. Makes everything a lot more fun having her experience on a very young team.
Yeah, Patricia, you're obviously going to be a really big part of what you guys all do there this season. I know you played against Ginny when she was at Monmouth. What was it that made you want to come join her and be on her side of the court this year?
It was just their culture and the way they played us. Every time we played them, we had an extensive scout. I think we spent more time scouting Monmouth than any other team in the league. And I wanted to be a part of that winning culture. They did beat us in the CAA championship. I was devastated, and I want to win, so I wanted to be a part of something like that.
Ginny, tell me what adding Patricia does to this group from a game perspective, from a leadership perspective. What does that bring?
Well, you're looking at a regular season champion in the CAA, first seed. She knows what it means to have a target on her back and to be expected to come out and prepare at a high level and compete at a high level every night. Then you just look at her sheer numbers. Her last season at Towson averaging 14.5 points per game, making over 53 threes, positive assist turnover ratio. There's just a lot of positive attributes. I tell her all the time, I didn't know what an elite defender she was. So she's really brought that second gear, third gear, fourth gear. Now she's in fifth gear, and we're moving at a high level on both ends of the court right now. I'm really pleased with her fitness and the work that she's done to get comfortable playing at our pace. But she's an elite shot maker and just a calming presence out there for us.
Yeah, Patricia, I'm really excited to see you get back on the court again. I was hoping, my parents are from Charleston, and I went to go watch their game when Towson played there last year, and I was like, please have her come back. I want to see her play, and you're still out, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to catch you this year at Toledo this time. But what's it been like coming back from that injury? How much stronger do you feel heading into this season?
For sure. It definitely was a challenge, but I feel like ever since I stepped foot on campus here at Toledo, they have had immense resources for me. I think I started PT again. I didn't necessarily need it, but it was just to make sure I was feeling strong and feeling good and ready to go on the court. So Toledo has helped me a great bit in returning from that surgery.
Yeah, Jenny, I know that one of your kind of goals for the season is to play faster. How do you feel like the additions that you got and kind of the development of the players that you're returning lead you to that goal of playing faster?
Well, Destiny Robinson's going to be out for the season with a knee injury, and so that's a pretty significant loss. She played a lot of minutes, was one that was really good at getting rid of the ball, getting off the ball, pitching ahead. So we're going to miss her for sure. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that. But I like our returners a ton. And then the new, she's the only guard that we added in the portal. We've got 2 freshman guards that are really talented. But I think the biggest change you're going to see is at our forward and our center position. A lot more size, a lot more mobility, the ability to shoot the three. We certainly lost a tremendous amount of experience there. But what we lost in experience, I think we gained an upside, and I'm really, really excited about their growth and how they're gelling together with their new teammates.
Yeah, Miriam Biela is someone that I want to talk about. She has a really high IQ, can pass the ball. I heard that you went to go watch her this summer in Portugal when she was playing. What have you seen from her growth from last year to this year?
Just a fearlessness and a confidence. She's starting for her national team, going against the best in the world in the U20 European Championships, and she's maybe 6'1", but she's lined up against a 6'6" center from France and just went head to head, nose to nose with her. She's fearless. I think she scored the first 7 points of the game against a much bigger defender and opponent. But again, her skill, her IQ. Her steadiness, very calming effect out there. She's got a lot of high-level basketball experience, and you can feel that when she's out there. You can see P nodding. She's just got a steadiness about her, and I think we have some really high-level guards on our team, and M's kind of just that glue piece down there at the 5, just kind of keeps everything moving and flowing. Great screener, great rim protector on the other end as well.
Another fun aside about your roster is that you now have sisters, right? You now have Cadence and Alicia Dykstra. What has that been like for you, kind of seeing that dynamic? I don't know if you have to manage that dynamic. What's it like between the 2 sisters and coaching them?
Yeah, there's been no management, honestly. And I was ready for a little sister rift or whatever it might be. But you're talking about 2 really high-level competitors that come from a very high-achieving family, top to bottom. If you're playing pickleball, they're going to want to crush you. If you're playing, if you're going bowling, they're going to want to crush you. So I think that's just their household and how they were raised. But no, you can see big sis and little sis looking out for one another. It was great. Alicia told me this summer, there's a little thing they have to get on their app to do their classes and their check-ins and all that stuff. And she was like, Cadence, show me how to do it. And Cadence was like, figure it out. I had to figure it out on my own. So she's helped her in areas that she needs help, and she's let her figure it out for herself in areas that she needs to. But Alicia's her length, her size, her scoring ability. She's doing a really good job in pick and roll. And so she's had the kind of the privilege of watching us for a year and watching Cadence improve. And so she's working really hard on her game, and I like what she brings to our team right now.
What do you feel like is the biggest strength of this group between, what you've added from the portal in your freshmen and what you return and you're growing? What are you looking forward to seeing, against some other teams in a week and a half when you start playing real games?
Yeah, I really like our depth. I think we added some key pieces inside. Again with that length and that ability to get up and down and go. But I like our depth on the perimeter. I think again we can do a myriad of lineups. We can play small. We can play big. We can play slow. We prefer to play fast. But there's a bunch of different lineups we can throw out there, and I really really like our depth. The other thing I have to say about this team is their cohesion. They really like each other, and it happened quickly. I think it speaks to Dee's laughing. We work really hard. We get after each other, but we also have a lot of fun. They have a good time in the locker room, TikToks galore, just a lot of really, really, good laughs. Like I'll never forget the first time Kendall Carruthers came off a ball screen, hit that step back drag. P was right on her chest. Casey hits that step back, hits a big three, and P was like, good move. Dapped it up, and they just kept playing. And I think it just speaks to the leadership and the maturity on this team, and that we're all in the gym trying to get better, and they're pushing each other every day.
Patricia, I heard you're also, off the court, a really good chef, which I need to take some lessons because I'm a terrible chef. I heard you can really, cook in the kitchen.
Yeah. I
Is
don't
that
like
true?
my
What's
meal
your
prep boring. Yeah. Can't eat the same thing every day for meal prep, so I like to mix it up a little, taught myself how to cook. And I like good food, so, it's only right that I learned how to cook.
That's impressive because I'm in college now too, and I think if I'm cooking, which is very rare, I'm usually getting like some Chipotle or something. If I'm cooking, it's like eggs or maybe pasta. So I'm impressed. I'm impressed that you're able to cook some real meals. I think I should have done college differently, like how you did it, and taught myself how to actually use my stove. That would have been maybe a good move, but in the future we'll get there. I'll get some lessons from you. I'll reach out.
Chef
Yeah. And I heard about the TikToks too, so I need to go watch all the fun team dynamic TikToks. I love it. One more thing I got for you, Jenny, before I let you go. I need to ask about something called the chain of shame. What's the chain of shame? Tell me about it.
No, so we have a chain. It's the Delta V chain. And Delta V is actually a physics term for emptying the tank. So rockets and their trajectory, as the rocket burns fuel, it gets lighter, and as it gets lighter, it goes faster. And so we have this Delta V chain that's supposed to signify emptying the tank. And we kind of just jokingly, it's just among the coaches. Like Patricia doesn't even know. If a coach does something really outlandish, foolish, one of those really silly mistakes, I'll just give them the chain of shame and make it a Delta V chain around the office. But again, it's just, we're moving and clicking at a really high rate. I have an incredible staff. And so we love to have fun. They've given it to me a few times, the chain of shame, but sometimes we take things really literal. And as we're just like, hey, go grab this. There's a lot of sarcasm flying around, but yeah, the chain of shame has been passed around a few times, and it's all in good fun. I think when you have a group of a staff like we have that are really, really competitive, really committed to making sure these young ladies have the best experience they possibly can, it can get tight. You can get moving at a really fast pace and at a high level. And I'm here for slowing down every now and then, laughing at ourselves. We want to take what we do really seriously, but not ourselves. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, sorry. When's the last time you had to wear the chain of shame?
Oh, it's been a couple weeks, so I'm good. And I think everybody's, we're getting in that go mode where it's a little bit less unscripted, and we're kind of in our rhythm with our practice and our off days and our shooting times and our film sessions and things like that. So it's usually when we've got, like 7 unofficial visits for a football game and stuff just moving around and somebody does something crazy. We're like, here, just
all
you get
yours.
to wear this for the next hour, just like, just shut her
That's
down.
funny.
But no, really excited about this team. Really, really pumped to continue to get better every day. 7 new faces, 4 new staffers, got a new recruiting coordinator, and everybody's moving in the right direction. But we have some work to do, and we're excited for that work.
Yeah, before I let you go, walk me through your expectations for this group, what they have to do to reach their ceiling and really succeed this year.
I think just stay in our process, continue to work really hard, continue to celebrate one another at a high level, continue to attack, the mental game, I think one of our strengths, on the teams that I've been fortunate to coach is just that what's important now mindset and out team the other team mindset. And so, 7 new people learning how to be a next play mindset, next play mentality is it takes time. It takes time. It takes trust. And so I think this team that you see early in November and then early in January and then early in March, I think will be 3 very different versions of the Toledo Rockets, and I'm excited for each version to be better than the last. I love how we're working hard and how we're attacking our process.
Absolutely. Well, I'm really excited to watch you this year. I've loved, watching Toledo over the years. They really support women's basketball there, and I love it. So excited to see what you do this year, and hopefully I can come down for a game. I've heard it's a great city. I've never been, so I got to get down and explore the city. I've heard it's great. So excited to see what you do, and I appreciate you talking to me.
Open invite. Come anytime. We'll roll out the red carpet for you.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Great talking with you guys.
Thank you.
And last but not least, we've reached the finish line. We have one more coach and player to talk to here, and that's Central Michigan. Kristen Haney will be joining us now with Zaria Chevry. Hey, how are you guys doing?
Hello.
Good. How are you? I'm good. Excited to finish off. We're saving the best for last here, right? We were the last team of the day, saving the best for last. Excited to talk to you guys. Obviously, you guys bring a lot of production back this year, right? With Maddie and Ayana and a couple other players. How important was that to have kind of a core and a base to build upon and develop heading into this season?
It's very important. If you have a roster that turns over every single season, it's tough to just build your system and, continuing to bring in new players and, experience is a big deal. And so to continue to bring in players year after year that are new to your system, it's a little difficult. So, we're super happy to have our Fab Five freshmen back, led by Ayana and Maddie. And then we got some really good pieces too with 2 point guards, freshman point guards, and then some transfers coming in.
Yeah, and one of those transfers is the player sitting right next to you, Zaria. And I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name right. Is that correct,
Yeah,
Zaria?
it's all right, but everybody just calls me Z, so you can just call me
Z? Okay, perfect. Because people mispronounce my name, so I'm always careful to make sure I'm saying people's names right too. But I'll call you
No,
Z.
I appreciate it.
Of course. What led you to Central Michigan? What made you want to come here and spend your last season here?
Man, there's a lot of things. Besides the coaches, of course. I mean, on my visit, like you just said, the returners, the girls, they were amazing. I connected with them right away. Again, Anna and Maddie, those are my girls. I'm so proud of them. So the girls definitely, and the coaches especially, the experience that they have and the things I can learn from them are so important. It was so key for me. So
I heard you brought a friend on your visit with you and you took it. Did she approve? Did she have to give the check mark of yes, this is the right spot for you?
She did. And she did. She loves it here too. So she's been out here a couple times. So yeah.
Good. I love it. And Kristen, what was the importance of adding someone like Z to your roster? For people who haven't watched her play, what does she add for you guys?
She adds a lot. She has a big personality, as you can see. Her big smile. She walks in a room and just lights it up. So that's what we first got with her as soon as we met her face to face. And you can hear it on the phone when we called her and talked to her in the recruiting process. But just her championship experience that she has. At Governor State, they won their conference, and then they went on to the NAIA and went to the Elite Eight. So that's huge. At any level, going to the Elite Eight, having that conference championship under your belt. We needed that leadership here. We like to bring in winners and champions, and her versatility too. She's about 5'10", but she's so physical. She can play inside, outside. Yeah, you'll see it on the court. It's so good. She's a mismatch nightmare, honestly. And she just works hard on both sides of the ball. So we're really excited to bring her in.
Absolutely. And you mentioned your 2 freshman point guards you mentioned earlier, who I assume will, play a pretty big role from the jump. And they're 2 different kinds of point guards, right? One's more pass first, one's more score first. What do you like about, your options at point guard, and what's it been like integrating them into your system?
Yeah, they do a really good job complementing each other. What we like most about them is just their work ethic. They both love to D up and play on the defensive end. So we're super excited to have them, guard the point guard on the way up the court the whole way and causing problems. And they start our defense, so igniting our defense. And when you get point guards that put the pressure on in the backcourt, it gets the people in behind you like all revved up and ready to go too. So we really like how they play on both sides of the ball, and just coachable. They have great attitudes. They fit right in. Our sophomores are still in the dorms, so they have their roommates, but then they go over to the sophomores' room all the time. They have such good chemistry.
I'll say this for the 16th time today to intro this, but the freshman to sophomore jump, it's my favorite thing in the world. I love seeing it. I love watching it. And I heard that someone to maybe keep an eye on for you guys is Jada Mosley and the jump that she's made this offseason. What's impressed you about, her freshman to sophomore offseason?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Z can attest to it, but you give her the ball and you think that is going in. You think that shot is going in.
No need to rebound. It's going in. We back on defense. It's okay.
But they get in trouble if they don't go rebound. So you never know what she's going to miss. But, she's just been working hard on, her shot and staying in the gym and speeding it up even more. And what I really liked about her this offseason, too, is not being just a shooter. She's been putting the ball down on the ground more, scoring in the paint. I think, freshman year, it's a tough transition from high school to college. And, in high school, we saw her drop some dimes and, have a really good feel for the game and be a playmaker and, finish at the rim. And she kind of got away from that last season, but it's in there. And now she's showing it off. And now she's more comfortable attacking the rim. So that's great to see.
Z, I heard that you have a nickname over there. I heard that they call you Grandma. What do you think about that?
They do call me Grandma. I love all my kids. I love all my grandkids. I love them all. So I don't mind it all. But
Do you feel like a grandma now in your 5th year? Do you feel like a grandma a little bit?
And a little bit in the back and a little bit in the knees, but not in the heart. So it's okay.
Good. That's all that matters. As long as you're, you got the mind, you got the heart for it. You're not a grandma. How old are you? You're like 23, 24?
Yeah, I'm 24. Yep. No.
Maybe to the freshman, maybe girl.
The 5-year age gap, it's fun to laugh at, so it's okay. But I still love my freshies, so it's all right.
It's funny. And I feel like, Kristen, I've mentioned so many specific players, but I feel like one of the things that impresses me most about your roster is the depth that you guys have this year. How much of a priority was that to make sure that you had that depth? And what does that do for you heading into the season, being able to, go down the roster and be like, yeah, I feel comfortable playing all of these players?
Yeah, that's a huge strength of ours. It's super fun in practice and competitive. And, we had the Fab Five, the freshmen came back. They played a lot of minutes last year. So to get their experience back is very, very helpful, on top of adding talent from the portal. And then with our freshman point guards, it's awesome. It's very fun. We talk about how there's 6th, 7th, 8th starter. There's 5 starters, but you can't start everybody. So when we go to our bench, we don't fall off that much. And, and that's very uncommon. A lot of teams play 6, 7, 8 players, but we're going to go 10, 11 deep. On any given night, someone else can step up. We have a lot of talent. So we're super excited. We're going to press more, and we got to get our defense better than last year. So continuing to work on those little things for, success.
I want to mention your schedule briefly because, oh my goodness, I was looking at it and I was like, this is like tough opponent after tough opponent after tough opponent. Butler, Notre Dame, Purdue, Michigan, Kentucky. What went into your scheduling philosophy this year and challenging yourselves early on?
Yeah, I mean, if we want to, be one of the best, we got to play the best. And, it's going to be a challenge for us, and we're excited for the opportunity. We like to take our players back home, and for Anna Darrington to go back and play Kentucky, in front of her friends and family is going to be a special moment for her. And then to get Purdue, a Big Ten team, to come and play us at home on our home floor is awesome. And, so happy that they're willing to do that because our fans love that, for high major teams to come in and play on our home court. It's going to be a really good environment. It's on a Sunday. The community is talking about it already. We can't wait for that Purdue game. And, there's a lot of excitement surrounding it. So I'm super excited for the players to play in that environment.
Absolutely. Well, one more thing that I heard about you before I let you go is that you love to lead by example. And one of the things you like to do to lead by example is you like to take charges during practice. And I heard it can get pretty funny in practice when you're doing that and you're leading by example in that way. Z, I'd like you to speak to this. How entertaining is it? What do you like about Coach and the way she does that? Because I see you laughing over there. So tell me a little bit more.
Man, I love it. If anything, if we already have energy, great energy as a team. But when Coach K comes into the circle and she's just all ready for practice and she says charge drill and she's like, "Do you guys need me to show you guys how to do it?" And one day she called me out. She was like, "Z, come on, get the ball. I know you want to push me a little bit." I got the ball. I gave her a nice little charge. It was a really nice day. Started practice off great.
I love that. Yeah, you gotta maybe do that more. Get them motivated, get them going. What do you enjoy? Like that feels like a really cool coaching moment for you to kind of interact with your players in that way. What do you like about being able to do that and have fun with your players in that way during a practice?
Yeah, I love to have fun, and but you got to be serious and you got to regain focus, right? If you lose focus, but I like to have fun, and I'm getting older now, so I shouldn't be taking too many more charges in the future. Might break a hip or something, but
Same.
yeah, Grandma's saying the same thing. But she has a charge opportunity in the game. I'm still gonna be on her for not taking that charge, but it's just like if I can do it, they can do it. So I like to lead by example and show them like, come on, we'll be okay. We can all do it together. So it's fun. I mean, we have fun and super excited, looking forward to the season.
Yeah, you're entering year 3 here. What are your hopes for what this group can do? Like at their best, what is this group? How would you kind of summarize them?
Yeah, the sky's the limit for us. We just every day we want to get better and better. It starts in practice, every game. We know things aren't perfect, but as long as we learn from our mistakes and don't make the same mistakes, over and over again, there's a high ceiling for this group. We're super talented, super deep, and so goal is to get to Cleveland and, compete for a championship. That's our expectation is, to finish higher than we did last year. And, we'll see when you get to Cleveland, anything can happen. So, we just take it one practice at a time and then one game at a time.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited to see what you do this year. We finished it off with a bang, which is what I was hoping we would do. So glad I got to end it off with you guys. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk and excited to watch you guys in a couple of weeks here.
Awesome.
Thank
you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Great talking with you. All right, that wraps up MAC Women's Basketball Media Day. If you've been here the whole 3 hours, I hope you enjoyed it. If you came on to watch your favorite coach, I hope you got something good from it, some good stories. This is obviously such a great league for coaches, for players. I think the potential of this league is really high this year. And I think, you go down the list and there are plenty of teams who have the opportunity to win this conference. So I'm excited to get watching on November 3rd. And I'm sure you all are too. I appreciate you sticking with me and watching MAC Women's Basketball Media Day.